Good afternoon, YouTube viewers and subscribers. Those of you that are OS aficionados might recognize the color of this box indicating its potential age. This is a box that was used many years ago. In fact, this engine dates back to 1963. This engine just arrived. Yet another John Kalinsky purchase on eBay that he had sent directly to me to add to my database. And this is what it is. It's a Fox Max 50 RC engine. Now, I have to confess, when I got home I did open this up. This is not the first time I've looked inside this box at this engine. So, that is what it is. I was excited, I wanted to check it out, so I did. And I delicately wrapped it right back up. So, this engine is from 1963 according to my OS Engines timeline poster that Mark sent to me. And the thing that's interesting about that that poster in the OS Engines timeline is it only shows this side of the engine, and it kind of shows it at an obscure angle like that. But this engine is very unique in that it doesn't have a muffler, but it has this kind of a rotating baffle mechanism here, which makes this really unique. And that's obviously not something that you could see from the timeline when it's like this, because I never even saw these protrusions. So I've never ever seen anything like this before. Now, when I first opened this engine up, it wouldn't move at all. It wouldn't turn over one bit. Now, the reason for that is I believe that this is a brand new engine, but I think this was in the time frame where OS, among many other engine companies at that time, were actually running every one of their engines at least one time before they would ship it. So that's what I'm attributing that initial stickiness to. I mean, even the carb wouldn't move, rotate at all. So basically what I did was I just put a few drops of 3-in-1 oil in here, a few drops of 3-in-1 oil in here, some in here, put a prop on it, and then just gently started rotating it through. So, and this, I was just on my way outside to put the heat gun to it and loosen it up a little bit, and I was able to just kind of push it and it started rotating. So, you know, the oil, that 3-in-1 oil is really good stuff. It is penetrating oil, it helps clean. So you put that stuff in something like this that's frozen up and just let it sit for a few minutes and it'll start working right away. Now, the one thing I think is interesting about this engine, other than it's just old and beautiful, is that I see a rare casting flaw here. It's not really a flaw, it's flashing, but I think it's worthy of showing. If you look at this thing right here, you see that? Can you see that? It's flashing from the mold. Now, I could just kind of knock that down and rub it down or whatever, but I'm really not going to. I'm going to let John be the deciding factor as to whether, I'm just going to make sure I don't stick my hand on it because it's kind of a sharp point there. I'm going to let John decide whether he wants me to, you know, hit that with a file or whatever, because I really don't want to do anything like that to this engine. But this is a quick look at this OS Max 50 RC engine. Came with this needle valve. I guess back in those days they did a lot of these springy needle valve things, and I really don't like these, because you'll see, well, I don't know if you'll be able to see it in the run videos or not, but many times these things just sit there and vibrate all over hell, and it kind of makes it hard to try and grab it and adjust it. But so this appears to be, now John, correct me if I'm wrong, it appears to me to be a new never run engine, except for, like I said, the one run it probably got at the factory. Air bleed style carb with this rotating baffle. So this is going to be, and it's got a throttle stop screw. This is going to be a really interesting engine to run. Now, if you look at this from this angle, I can't really tell from looking inside here, but I have a feeling that this still has that baffle on the piston, especially since the glow plug is offset to the left. Usually indicates that there's some kind of a baffle on the piston head there, but I can't tell by looking inside there. And the last thing I'm going to do is take this engine apart, because let's take a look here. I can show you it's pristine. I mean, these screws have never been touched at all, and I'm not going to be the first one to do it. I'm going to let this sit as it is Kind of a bad thing is that this engine did not come with any instructions at all. Nothing else in the box other than this. So I have to assume that this is a new unrun engine and treat it like a break-in run. I can't even really tell. I'm assuming, have to assume, I guess, that this is a ringed engine. But I'll have to treat it like a break-in for a ringed engine. So I'm probably going to run, several tanks of fuel through it, but I don't know if I'm going to go through the entire process of, yeah, there's a ring on there. I can see it. I don't know if I'm going to go through the entire break-in process or not. I don't know if that's, what John really wants. I think it was just a matter of showing it to the viewers and subscribers, getting a couple runs on it. The runs will be pretty boring because they'll be rich break-in runs, but hey, at least we'll get it added to the database. So thank you again, John, for having this sent directly to me to add to the engine database, and everybody have a good day.